Warren Buffett. Nobody brings it to you like Fox Business.
All right, a better than expected jobs report, earnings reports, factory reports, lots of reports. So time for us to report. The world has not ended. So if you took me up on what some guests were saying yesterday to slash your wrist yesterday, well, you're not watching today, I guess. So let's get the reaction from our Fox Biz All-Stars, Jonathan Honig, Mark Tatge, John Layfield, and Tracy Burns. John Layfield, what do you make of this?
I make the fact that the world has not ended. Look, we have a financial and a real estate crisis. The rest of the stock market is remarkably resilient. People are still buying iPods. People are still buying Hannah Montana tickets. If there's an attraction out there, the consumer has slowed. But
they're still buying Hannah Montana tickets with the pictures and all?
They are. They're buying more now.
Really?
Unfortunately.
Adults are buying, adult males.
98% of people are still paying their home. The people have not lost their jobs across the board. We're still at just at 5% unemployment. This economy has not fallen off a cliff. Financials have. Big difference.
Okay. Mark, you've not been in that camp. Did anything today make you think differently?
I think the most recent numbers are encouraging. I don't think things are going to get any worse. It's a question of how much better they're going to get and how quickly. There's an awful lot of overhang over there, I mean, in the housing and the financial sectors. You know, it's probably a good time to be buying certain select stocks out there, but I wouldn't be rushing into this market.
All right, when you say select stocks, names, sectors, what?
Yeah, I think in the areas of basically in some basic materials type stocks. I like some of the steel companies, some of the basic commodity type companies out there. I think commodities are going to continue to do good. Think inflation. You know, I'd stay away from the financials. I'd stay away from retail. I think there's still a lot of error in certain types of stocks out there. I'd avoid the airlines like the plague. You know, but there are some areas out there.
Where are your areas, Jonathan Honig?
Well, you know, Neil, we really started to see, frankly, a lot of those commodity-oriented plays, which had been layups for the last 6 months, start to deflate this week. And a lot of the risk trades that people have put on, buy bonds, buy the yen, get out of stocks, I mean, those have really started to reverse. Even some banks are doing well right now. So, I mean, people, I think, and you've been kind of a harbinger of this for months now, people now are very much in a mood to buy stocks. So I would agree that you want to be select. I'm finding more opportunities in places like J.Crew, GCG, or Gap. We talked about that yesterday. It was actually down a little bit today, so I'm down a couple shekels on that so far, but I don't think you want to sell this market short just yet.
All right. It depends whether you're buying it on credit, because this was a rough day for credit card companies and their stocks. The Federal Reserve, other regulators moving to end what they call unfair and deceptive industry practices, like arbitrarily raising rates or not giving borrowers adequate time to pay their bills. That news sending their stocks lower. Is this just part of a trend toward more regulation? Tracy, what do you think?
I think it's Looney Tunes that they're getting involved with credit cards, quite frankly. I think it's in black and white. I think it's awful that they do this. These credit cards,
really teeny,
but it's there, and this is the capital markets, and leave these companies alone. Quite frankly, they should be devoting their energies into bigger issues. People don't need credit cards to survive. You know, there's like $850 billion in credit card debt. People should just get out of them then if they can't read the rules.
Well, we kind of need credit cards, though, right?
Yeah, but I mean, we don't need our regulators involved in our credit card bills. Quite frankly, they don't need to see how many pairs of shoes I bought. They just need to mind their own business and do what the federal government is supposed to do, not get involved with our personal finances.
John?
This is a horrible infringement in the private markets. Look, Ms. Clinton is talking about voiding a legal contract on these mortgage, extending teaser rates. This is a terrible precedent that the Congress is starting to do. I think it is a harbinger of more regulations, and I think it is terrible for the free markets. We can't legislate ignorance. If somebody is that dumb that they run up their credit card bill and they can't pay it, they need to deal with it.
I guess what they're saying, though, Mark, and I agree with these guys here, but I'm just saying that some of them that really snidely raise rates on you midstream, or as you get close to your credit limit, double the rates for you or demand more money up front.
Exactly. I think the credit card companies have gotten a free ride here. I mean, essentially it's a scale business. It's controlled by a handful of big companies. The Fed long ago should have put some curbs on some of the practices that are being done out there that are really usury in the way that they're able to raise rates, cut credit, and you know, there's just a lot of unfair practices that are being practiced.
Well, I guess we shouldn't be surprised.
Companies.
But you know, Jonathan Honig, one thing that struck me, do you know that credit card companies, 40% of the money they make are off their fees? From the fee to get the card to the fee to if you're late, to the fee if you're bumping up against your credit limit. That's a lot, you know?
Well, but Neil, you know, I mean, you don't have. I bet you don't pay those fees for one thing, Neil, and a lot of people don't. And of course, you don't have to.
I have Layfield treat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, of course, you don't have
He's
to have a
loaded.
credit card. And sometimes I scratch my head and wonder, you know, does Chris Dodd and Barney Frank have nothing better to do than to try to get into the credit card business? And they're going to tell these companies what rates they can charge, who gets credit, when bills are due, and the net result is going to be less available credit for people who really do need it, even at a high rate.
All right, we're going to take a quick break
I don't
here.
buy that argument at all.
All right, well, I didn't think you would. We're going to take a quick break. Robert Downey Jr. is the new Iron Man, not the character he plays, the remarkable comeback he performed. What he could teach any of us who thought we was finished.
Get a head start with Fox Business Morning, bringing you the latest and putting it all in perspective. The wake-up call that'll make or break your day. Fox Business Morning on Fox Business.
From the producers of Deadliest Catch comes the next big thing. A new series about guys who parallel park ships the size of skyscrapers and track down bombs before they find their target. Even the smallest mistakes can cost millions, and lives are always on the line.
Don't necessarily know if you're going home each night.
So if you want to work here, you better know your ship. America's Port, a new series, Mondays on Nat Geo.
This spring on Fox College Sports, catch over 90 NCAA baseball games and exclusive live coverage of Big 12 baseball. Plus spring football from the SEC, the Pac-10, and the Big 12. And all the day's highlights on FCS Final Score. To get FCS, call 877-2GET-FCS or log on to foxcollegesports.com.
America's grand game is on Fox. One of baseball's biggest rivalries is renewed. Red-hot Derek Lee looks to power the Cubs over Albert Pujols and the Cardinals. David Wright and the Mets square off with Brandon Webb and the Diamondbacks. Or Vlad Guerrero and the Angels battle the Orioles. This week on Fox Saturday Baseball. Check local listings for the game in your area.
Good luck keeping up.
That movie looks so good. His career was in tatters. He was in jail. Robert Downey Jr., from gifted actor to tragic actor to, we were told, finished actor. The same has been said of so many careers in so many fields, but this one I think offers us hope. No matter your opinion on Mr. Downey, not just because Mr. Downey apparently cleaned up his act, but in Iron Man, he's apparently found a super act. Back to a super truth. You are never done unless you're convinced you are done. Let us ask our own Iron Man and Iron Woman, Jonathan Hoenig, Mark Tatge, John Layfield, and Tracy Burns. What do you think, Tracy? It's an amazing comeback
I
story.
love this story, especially because you can go back to less than zero when he was actually living out real life, when he was drunk on the floor, coked up. He's the Energizer Bunny. He's down, he's up, he's down, he's up. He just keeps going. And you listen to the interviews and you read his interviews, he just doesn't care. He's going to keep trying. He doesn't even care what people think about him.
What I like about some of the reports on him now is that I don't know if I'm out of the woods. I just keep trying every day. But I think what I like about the story, regardless how you feel about, Downey, is you never say never.
Never. America only hates dishonesty. People that get down on their luck, America forgives you. America gives you a chance, and America is a meritocracy. And if you have the talent to succeed like he does, they'll give you 100 chances. That is, to me, is what is so great about this country.
But you're right, and he's been so honest about all his screw-ups.
All America hates is if you lie.
Yeah.
As long as
He'll
you're honest,
tell you
he'll forgive
anything.
you.
He'll tell you.
Think of it, Jonathan Hoenig. Like, think of the people who are giving up for their dad. Nardelli after Home Depot. gets a chance to sort of redeem himself now at Chrysler. We don't know if he will, but he has a good shot at doing that. And all of a sudden, the whole Home Depot experience could be forgotten. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I mean, Neil, there are second acts, and I think Robert Downey Jr. really is a success story, and maybe Bob Nardale will be as well. I mean, of course, I think they both have had kind of big obstacles to overcome. So many people in this country deal with substance abuse, and I got to tell you, I've loved Robert Downey Jr. ever since Weird Science. So it's glad to see him back in the theaters doing well with this new project. Although I got to tell you, it's probably not going to be on my list of date movies, but congrats to him.
Yeah, women don't like these kind of movies, do they?
Exactly.
Superheroes. They're not into superheroes. I don't know why that is. So, Mark, do you think that in business, in Hollywood, in sports, anything powerful, any message going on here?
Well, I think there's something to be said for why this film is coming out now, and I think this film will do very well given the economy. I mean, I think there's a mood of escapism out there. People would like to go see a good action adventure based on a cartoon character. Robert Downey, well, an unlikely character for this, but, you know, my film critic friend, Marilyn Greenwald, who's seen snippets, says he's actually believable in this film.
What I like about that, he
believe,
plays a character in Hollywood, you know, is typically not treated well, a capitalist per se, I won't get into the details, who's actually treated favorably. Hollywood has something nice to say about capitalists.
But you know what's brilliant about casting Downey is that they'll get our generation, because we love to see the Fall Guy get back up, and then they'll get my kid, because my kid wants to see people kill each other.
Well, he found Iron Man. I'm doing Dessert Man. Just a joke. All right, guys, thank you very much. Let me show you something. Would you pay $250 for a pair of really weird, and I know the guy who runs the company is going to be here, but really ugly shoes? Well, tons of folks are. I mean, take a look at these after this.